Okay, so we need to look at booklet B today and figure out how much time we need to spend on booklet B. Who knows? If you have done the time paper on our mock exam section in the website, yeah, it should be 1 hour. Nicole, very good. Abhinan, very good. About 1 hour. Actually, a little bit more if you can. How? If you finish the MCQ paper faster, then you spend more than 1 hour. Am I right? MCQ paper, how much time do we give ourselves? 45 minutes. Actually, it's very long. Why? The 45 minutes is including checking. Okay. So let's say you don't want to check now, you want to check later. So what do? You finish the MCQ in 30 minutes or 35 minutes, and then you put it aside and go to section B first or booklet B first. And then you check all together one time at the end. Is that a good idea also? So you can actually start your booklet B earlier than 45 minutes and give yourself more time. Because booklet B, you need to pick out the keywords to score. And keywords is not given like in MCQ, is from your own brain, right? You need to pick out the keywords. So today we're going to focus on the answer. And then 1 or 2 questions, I will show you what the keywords are. But at the end of the session, I will give you a little bit of homework, which is to pick out all the keywords that we need to know for this paper, and we share with each other next week. Okay, next week, I am meeting you for a short while, about 1 hour, not to go through any paper, but to go through some techniques and what's that? Key things that you need to know, tips also. Okay. So next week I'll meet you for 1 hour. The schedule is not out yet. You will be updated. You will meet me, Indra, and Bern for about 1 hour each. Okay, that's it. 1 hour on one day only. Not 3 days like this week. Okay, this week is different because you go through the paper and you have National Day weekend. Next week, just meet me for 1 hour. Can? All say okay. Okay. So that we keep in touch with each other for the whole time, and then until PSLE comes, you are ready to battle. All right, so now you know how long to spend. Let's go into the questions. So I have to finish till question 40. You know, right? MCQ is 28 questions. Then after that, you got question 29 to 40 is in booklet B, right? Book B. Am I right? So you know what you're doing, huh? Okay, so I need to finish this in 1 hour, 10 minutes, like every day by 3:10. I only have 1 hour left. So those things that I'm going to go through the answers. I want you to pick out and pay close attention to whatever I say. And if you can't capture what I say now, you have to watch the recorded version. And next week, when you come back, we will look at the keywords of all these questions in detail. Okay, we will do a minute analysis of this paper by looking at the keywords and see if every one of you can get the keywords. What do I mean by that? I will teach you as we go along. All right, I've already gotten the first answer. Those of you who are jumping the gun, okay, I like to write very big and very, so that all of you can see, right? Name the process pollination, because it's a reproductive process where flower A and flower B looks exactly the same. So they will use their reproductive organs to pollinate. Okay, that's just 1 mark. Wow, I already got my first mark of my booklet B. Isn't that fast? That means you start your engine already. Now you start going all the way. Okay, accelerate all the way to the finish line. Okay, this is how you do it. Speed is also important. So when you ever practice, you practice speed as well. Now, flower C is smaller, dull in color, and has no scent. These are the keywords in the question. So what happens is you need some keywords in your answer. Am I right? But this is what you need. If you have the keyword in your answer, you will get the mark. Remember, you always have to see this mark. Sometimes it can be 1 mark, sometimes it can be 2 marks, sometimes it can be 3 marks. So in MCQ, no problem. Everything is 2 marks. But in section B, you have 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark questions. You need to answer according to the number of marks. The more marks, the more points, keywords you need, because we're only looking for those keywords. And of course, the way you write, which we expect all of you to write well, okay? Explain how, okay? So this is a keyword again in yellow, because these are the question ones, so I'm going to write in yellow. For the answer ones, we write in blue, okay? Explain how the characteristic, which characteristic? So Characteristic of male parts only. If you talk about female parts, then no mark for you. So you can see all the things that I'm circling. These are the things that they're telling you to focus on before you give me your answer. If you start talking about female reproductive parts, straight away, wrong. I can, as a teacher, right, very easy for me. I just put wrong and just carry on. 0 mark for you, right or not? Because you don't answer the question. Okay, so focus on the male parts. I need to see some male parts in your answer. If you don't, then obviously talking about the wrong parts. For what? Enable process M to take place. Hey, what is this M? Who knows what is process M? Suddenly talk about process M. I don't see any process M here. Because in the question paper, there was a part A. And in part A, you really talk about process M. Remember here? Process M. See here? So in the exam, right, when something comes out suddenly, some process, don't be scared. It must have been talked about somewhere in the earlier part. Go and find it. And this process M, you already say it's called pollination. Okay, so part B is just continuation. So what is the male part that helps in the pollination? Explain how. Okay, so what happens? The male part in flower C is sticking out. Very good. What's this? Very good, huh? Ishra, very good. So we use, what color can we? Red color here because I need to draw here. Can you see? These are the male parts, which are called what? Who knows the name of these parts that are hanging out? Come on, guys. Enter, 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 not panther, not pink panther. Enter, very good. So, hey, you know you guys already got your 1 mark? Okay, let's say I'll give you half mark for that because you still need to explain. So what happened is your first keyword was enter. You're already going in the right direction. If you talk about stigma and all that, oh, wrong already. Okay, enter is the one that we're looking for, right? So I give you half mark here. Then you tell me what is the position of the enter such that you can help the flower to pollinate. Because it's hanging out, it's very easy for what? Very easy for pollen grains, which are stored in the enter, to carried away by wind. So you see the keyword here, 1. This one I give you half mark. This one, the pollen grains stored carried away by the wind easily. Okay, which will land, you see, if I can cancel all this, I can just say which will help to reproduce. You see, that's exactly, but how does it reproduce? Which will land on the stigma of other flowers. So actually this is too short. So you just carry on by giving us a longer version of reproduce by landing on the stigma for pollination to take place. Again, this one, you see, it's just unnecessary there, but you just finish off the sentence. This is for you to finish off the sentence in English, right? To say how reproduction takes place. You get what I mean? But the circled ones are important. Can you see the circle ones? These circle ones are probably what you get your mark for. Okay, I'll give you half mark here and another half mark. We are very stingy. We give you half mark for writing a lot. Okay, but we expect, because if you don't write this right, you get 0. You want 1 or 0. Something is better than nothing. So good, Jin Le, you say very good. Ming Chen, thanks for giving. So keep the answers coming in because I'm watching what y'all are typing. Very good. Then it makes for a more fruitful discussion. Thanks. All right. Okay, so this part we know. So you know how to get question keywords and give answer keywords. Okay, this is what we're going to do the whole time. And when you have like just blanks like this, very easy. And then now suddenly I give you 2 marks. Wow. Just now I write so much, you give me 1 mark. Now I'm going to write so little, you give me 2 marks because it's 1 mark each, right? This is normal. This is what we do. Okay. Sometimes we give, because 1 mark, 2 mark is not based on how much you write somewhere. It's how much you know. It's a giveaway, but how much you know. It's how much you actually remember. So if you can remember, we award you the marks for remembering whatever you were supposed to write here. Okay. So because it's not easy, you're supposed to write the structure characteristic to help it being dispersed by the wind. Okay. So remember. So again, what we have to highlight, let's do in our color coordinated. Okay, so yellow color. Question. Based on the diagram above, state one state State, not explain. You see the difference? Did they ask you to explain or state? State means just write down. So it's not explain, is write down. So these are the key things. Okay. Those who have questions like Galaxy, you want to ask me a question, you just, okay. Later we will go through, like he said, something wrong with the mock paper, didn't have the diagram. Okay, no problem. We settle that later. Okay, so carry on. If don't have diagram, don't worry. Here I have diagram. You still can go through. Okay, later we fix the diagrams in the mock paper. No problem. Based on the diagram, state. Okay, so write down a different characteristics that reproductive plants of X and Y have to help them disperse by wind. So obviously dispersed by wind must be light, must be feathery, must be small, right? So you can write state down. Okay, so plant X. Let's look at plant X. Is long and feathery. Plant Y is we are looking at this part only because they say enlarge, okay, view of the reproductive part of plant Y, enlarge part. So we only look at, because that part is too small to see, so we enlarge it for you with a microscope and say, hey, this part is very small and very light, so it can be carried by the wind. So you're going to say very small and very light. Okay, you can say small, and then you can say long, feathery. Can or not? Actually, right, I wouldn't write the word long because long doesn't help it to be transported by wind. You get what I mean? You get what I mean? Who gets what I mean? We are talking about wind is going to help it move. So it should be feathery, light. Okay, it should be small. It should be, what else? Hair-like structures. Okay, all these words say wind can actually blow this away. But you say long, short, doesn't matter. It can be a long bamboo pole. Does it mean it will be flown by the wind? Understand, right? So no need long.